Yemi Akpan joins us to continue our topic on the security challenge. Thank you for coming on this morning. We're looking at this. For you, if you look at how we are approaching our fight against this insurgency, how would you assess it?
You see, right from the beginning, there has been fundamental mistakes in the way we pursue our security in the country.
Fundamental mistakes, how do you mean?
Yeah. For example, I think there is serious problem of analysis of our security agencies, from our security agencies. Now, what do I mean? Look at the north, most states in the north. What are the characteristics of the region? Right from the 80s, 90s, even up to some, early part of 2000, there has been several instances of religious riots. There have been several instances of religious riots. So many people killed. Some people will run away and leave their properties there, and they will not go back consistently.
Do you see any connection?
So,
what's the connection?
Yes, no, I'm coming. So what is that? What does that tell us? What that tells us is that right from the 80s up to the 90s, up to the present, there are elements in that area that have extremist tendencies. So what has the security agencies been able to do since that time to monitor those people? Because terrorism is about the brain, it's not about gun. It's about, putting infrastructure in place to nip it at the bud before it comes up. You understand?
Are you suggesting they've not done anything, or they need to do more
than
they have done?
I appreciate the role our security agencies are playing. The SSS, the police, the army, they are putting their lives on the line. They are trying, seriously, in view of the present defects and infrastructure that we have. But there are some fundamental issues that were not addressed from the beginning. You understand? And these issues, it appears that these mistakes are still going on.
What are those mistakes?
You understand? For example, proper analysis. For example, when there was a time, I think in 2008 or thereabout, there was a time we heard that a French man was kidnapped somewhere in the north. I followed that story very well. And after about 11 months, we heard that the man was released and he left. Now, if you understand terrorism very well, what the terrorists do is they are foreign collaborators that are weapons experts, instructors, and terrorist tacticians. They will bring them in. They will fake the kidnapping. They will take him to their camp, train them how to assemble bombs, how to handle weapons, how to do all these things. And then after about 8, 9, sometimes 1 year, they will release the person, and everybody will be happy that the person the expatriate that was kidnapped has been released.
What are you suggesting?
You understand?
Are you suggesting that?
No, what I'm saying is that it's possible that it is a normal kidnapping case, but 95% of the time, such people are sponsors. Such people are weapons instructors all over the world. So these are things that we should not have allowed to, because why I'm saying.
But that there are some cases where that they unfortunately were killed.
Have different strategies, different tactics, even including funding. The office next door to your office might be might be funding terrorism. The woman who is selling gold in the market might be into terrorist business, might be funding terrorism. They are different. They have different strategies. The last guest I was saying, excuse me. The way they study counter-terrorism of government properly, and then from there they adopt the approach. They adopt their approach. For example, if they see that kidnapping has become expensive for them, they will change to another strategy, maybe bombing. If they see that it's becoming very difficult to bomb, they will use arms. So counterterrorism efforts must be geared towards capturing all the terrorist strategies. Because if you plan your counterterrorism based on maybe bombing alone, it might not work because they can adopt other strategies.
But can you say you have a realistic assessment of our intelligence gathering agency or our security agencies with a view to fighting this insurgency?
Well, as I've said before, I appreciate the efforts of our intelligence agencies. They have their own methods, but I think that we have to do more to get intelligence. For example, it might not be necessary to spend so much money, billions of dollars, to get equipment. There are simple ways we can get information. Like I was telling you before, right from that time that these religious riots were going on, what was the effort of the security agencies to plan ahead?
From the 80s, right?
Yes, from the 90s, 80s and 90s. Because it's about projection.
Yeah, but ever since we moved on from then,
yes,
we're here now.
So that is why we are. That is why we are.
Does this theory still apply that we don't have to spend a lot of money to enhance our operations?
Of course. For example, now, what they would have done as at that time was they would send people. Maybe, okay, government can decide to sponsor children, okay, to the university or to secondary schools. Go to this secondary school, go to this secondary school, go to this secondary school. And this is the reason why government is sponsoring you. From there, you grow up in the region. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say. From there, you grow up. You see, this is what America, like if you remember during the Cold War, Americans can send students, can sponsor students to go and study in other countries, in Russia and other communist countries.
They didn't spend much.
Sir?
They didn't spend much with their security ever since that 9/11 scenario?
No. Before, during the Cold War. I'm trying to buttress the point I am making. You know, those students they will grow up, they will get information and will be feeding Washington. You understand?
Can you say we're not doing that here?
I'm not sure we are doing it because it appears that there are no proper, because if you look at the way the attacks are coming up, either bombing, kidnapping with frequency, it doesn't appear as if there is serious, strategies put in place.
But again, you haven't still given any kind of solution because you were almost trying to infer that some of the kidnappings were arranged to the extent that some of them go in, train these people, come out and say, well, I've been released. Well, now, connecting that nexus with what has happened over time and what you would try to proffer as a solution should be the next to get from you. What should we, as a people and a nation with its security apparatus, be doing to help in this situation?
Okay. Talking about solutions now. Now, the first thing I think we should do is we have to change our security policy, overall security policy. Because if you look at the ultimate goal of Nigeria's security policy is to protect the country from attack, either directly or indirectly. You know? So we need to incorporate other elements of development into our security calculus. Such as energy security, food security, water security, economic security. You know, that is looking at the long term.
But this is what we hear them say they do on a regular basis.
That's what I'm saying.
Consistently.
No, you are asking me for solutions, so that's what I'm telling you. That's at the long term. Now, at the short term, there should be a review of the strategy. The police, there should be a strategy, a review of the strategy that the police, the military, and the other security agencies are adopting. Do you understand? They should review the security, the way they go about this security, this Boko Haram elements.
What would you like to see differently, given that what is being applied now is not working?
What I would suggest first to the government is that, number one, they should set up a civilian intelligence system, civilian intelligence gathering system. It's very, very important, because this present system of for example, if as now Boko Haram has come up and it has established its wings, if they try to maybe send somebody to infiltrate the ranks of Boko Haram, it is possible that they will know and these people will be killed.